This is the Anker SOLIX F3800 portable power station. It kept my kitchen running through a neighborhood outage like nothing happened, and it did it quietly, cleanly, and without the fuss of a gas generator. I put this in the category of serious home backup and heavy-duty off-grid power. If you are thinking about keeping appliances going during storms, supporting a recreational vehicle setup, or powering tools at a remote site, this is the kind of unit that makes sense. If you just want a little battery to top up phones at the park, this is not it. This is for people who want real capacity and real output. The design is tall, dense, and confidence-inspiring. The finish is mostly matte black with sturdy handles and thick wheels that actually matter in daily use. The telescoping handle pulls out like a suitcase, which I use every single time I move it because this thing is heavy. It is around 132 pounds. On flat ground and over gravel, the wheels roll smoothly enough that I do not think about it. Stairs are a different story. One person can guide it, but two people make it safe, and planning a path before moving it saves energy and time. I keep it in the garage where I can roll it straight to the driveway or into the house if I need to. Port placement is thoughtful. There are standard alternating current outlets. There are both 120-volt and 240-volt options, and there are high power ports for big appliances. I also get Universal Serial Bus Type C and Universal Serial Bus Type A for everyday charging. Everything is labeled clearly, and the front display is one of my favorite parts. It shows incoming power, outgoing power, estimated time remaining, and battery percentage in real numbers that make sense. No cryptic icons. When I am managing a fridge, a couple of lights, and a laptop during a blackout, that readout gives me confidence without guesswork. Setup is straightforward. I rolled it in, turned it on, and plugged things in. The first time I used the 240-volt output, I took a moment to read through the manual because understanding the difference between 120 and 240-volt matters. After that, it became second nature. There is an electric vehicle mode you can enable, which tells the station to behave nicely with a car's onboard charger. It is not complicated, but if you have never dealt with high-draw devices, there is a small learning curve. The user interface helps by giving you clean, fast feedback. Button presses respond immediately, the display updates right away, and there is no lag or weirdness when switching outputs. Power delivery is the headline here. The rated output is 6,000 watts, which is far beyond the small portable units most people know. In my house, that means the fridge, lights, internet gear, and a few extra things can run at the same time without tripping anything. During one outage, I ran a full-size refrigerator, a couple of LED lamps, and kept my laptop charging. By the end of the evening, the battery was still comfortably above the halfway mark. When I pushed it harder to see what it could handle, I plugged in a space heater and started charging my electric car. That combination made the cooling fans ramp up after a few minutes, and I could hear them clearly in a quiet room. In the garage, the noise became background. It is not silent, but it is a reasonable trade-off for the amount of power it is moving. Charging speed surprised me. On a standard wall outlet, I saw a full charge in under 3 hours. For a battery this size, that speed is genuinely useful when you are trying to top off before a storm or quickly recover after a heavy day of use. Solar charging is supported, and I tried a couple of panel setups. It works, but the experience depends a lot on your configuration. The maximum input on paper is 2,400 watts, but you only reach that if your panel voltage and current line up with the limits. With non-Anker panels, hitting the sweet spot is finicky. It is doable, but you need to pay attention to the numbers. Also, while charging from the wall, I noticed that not all alternating current outlets stay active. About half of the standard ports disable, while the unit is drawing power from the wall. I understand that is likely a safety or efficiency choice, but it caught me off guard the first time because I wanted to charge the station and keep everything powered as usual. If you require all outlets active while charging, that limitation will bother you. Let me talk about the first real night I leaned on it. We had a short outage right after I brought it home. I rolled it into the kitchen, plugged in the fridge, a couple of light strips, and my laptop. The room stayed lit, the food stayed cold, and I kept working like nothing changed. That moment sold me. No fumes, no pull start, no rattling engine, just stable power and a clear readout telling me I had hours to spare. I took it on a weekend camping trip as well. We ran a portable fridge, a small rice cooker, a few lanterns, and charged everyone's phones. The display's time remaining estimate was accurate enough that I could plan meals and nighttime lights without worrying about waking up to a dead battery. The wheels did fine across gravel to the campsite. I would not want to drag it across sand for a long distance, but on hard ground it was manageable. For a recreational vehicle-style setup, the 240-volt support and the high-power ports give you options that smaller stations cannot. On the more experimental side, I tried a quick charge session on my electric car using the electric vehicle mode and a level 1 style connection. It worked, and it was a nice way to add a few miles of range in a pinch. Under that load plus a space heater, the fans were clearly audible. Not unbearable, but you will notice. I also tried a couple of power tools, including a circular saw and a shop vac, and the station did not flinch. The surge handling felt solid, and the display reacted instantly to the tool triggers, so I could see how much headroom I had. A lot of the peace of mind here comes from the battery chemistry. The unit uses lithium iron phosphate, which has a great reputation for safety and longevity. It tolerates more charge and discharge cycles than the typical lithium-ion cells you find in smaller packs. That is the foundation for a long service life. I also like that you can expand capacity with an extra battery if your needs grow. I have seen people try third-party chargers and creative solar combos to speed things up, but just be mindful that any do-it-yourself modification can impact your warranty. So read the manual and know what you are doing before you start experimenting. There are a few quirks worth knowing. Weight is the obvious one. You roll it, you do not lift it. Plan your storage and your paths around that. The fans will make themselves known under heavy load. Solar can be great, but you will get the best results if you use panels that match the voltage and amperage requirements closely. And while charging from the wall, remember that some outlets are disabled. None of these are deal breakers for me, but they are part of the daily reality of living with a power station this capable. What stands out as uniquely helpful are the little quality of life touches that I used every day. The display is crystal clear and accurate. The handle and wheels are strong enough that I trust them with the unit's weight. The layout of ports makes sense when you have multiple things plugged in at once. The ability to switch between 120-volt and 240-volt power puts it in a different class for home backup, because you can handle heavier appliances when you need to. And the alternating current recharge speed is fast enough that I do not worry about scheduling a full day just to juice it up. If you need dependable, high-output backup that can live in a garage or utility space and roll out when the lights go out, this is an easy recommendation. Homeowners who want to keep essential appliances running, recreational vehicle owners who need more headroom than a small battery can provide, and anyone doing serious off-grid work will appreciate what it delivers. If you move gear up and down stairs constantly, or you only need something light and easy for picnics and tailgates, this is not the right fit. For my use, it strikes the balance I want. Strong power, quick charging, a clear interface, and a build that feels like it can take years of use. You can find detailed information about the Anker SOLIX F3800 portable power station in the comments section. See you in the next video.